For representation of gender, I've chosen to do Rihanna Rude Boy. It's quite a good example of how she's portrayed as a woman in the video. The song is quite seductive anyway, with a seductive meaning. It's called Rude Boy, and yeah, so during the video, she starts off and she's wearing like these Brazilian shorts. So she's conveying herself as the stereotypical Jamaican background, so she's from Barbados, so she's got that kind of upbringing, so she's conveying herself like that, which obviously isn't a stereotypical view of a woman. However, it can be seen as it's a stereotypical of a black woman. So she's got these pants on and she's dancing very seductively. Obviously, if you compare that to Madonna and Material Girl, it's different dancing, it's different outfits and that. So she's conveying herself in a completely different way to Madonna. It is Material Girl. She then changes outfit and she's in animal-like outfits, which would suggest she's conveying herself as an animal. So she's challenging the representation of normal women, being like the housewife type of women, like looking after the men, wearing like long dresses, and it's contradicting the stereotype of business women and things like that. It's kind of saying that she's an animal. Considering the song is like subliminal messages about sex, it can be related that she's an animal, like in that kind of way, in seductive ways. But yeah, it's challenging the normal representation of how we view a woman. Also, with her dressing like half naked again, obviously it's challenging it, because it's not what we stereotypically expect women to wear. But obviously in this day and age, it's becoming more of the fashion to do so. So there's like, for the male gaze, when she's dancing and stuff, men see her as like an object, and they don't see them as a person, if that makes sense. So it's portraying as like a certain image. So it's exaggerating the fact that she's got the womanly body, and really emphasising the fact that it is the male gaze, because she's like sexy. She's portraying herself in the way that males would want to, if that makes sense. It's quite a catchy song, which would suggest that maybe we wouldn't necessarily expect to see that. So it's not like Justin Timberlake, AO Technology, where the song is quite seductive anyway, and you see the CCTV camera, so it's kind of like explicit footage. It's not corresponding with that, so we wouldn't expect to see a normal pop song being viewed in this way. But yeah, it challenges the representation of a normal woman because she's dancing around in seductive clothes. She's wearing animal clothes. There's also the scene of her on the motorbike. Now, some people say that's stereotypical of her being on the back of the motorbike with a male in front, because when you see it on movies and things like that, that's what happens when they go on a bike ride and things like that. The woman's on the back. However, she's challenging the representation because she's not holding on to the man. If you look at the video, she's actually leaning back, again being seductive, but it's showing the independence of her, and she's not relying on the man. So it's not as if she's being this normal stereotypical woman of her holding on, like being scared and things like that. She's quite independent and she's not afraid, so she's just using the man, if that makes sense, for the ride, and she's just leaning back and she's not holding on. So yeah, so in Rude Boy, she represents herself in a quite seductive way, and not stereotypical of how we'd expect a woman to behave.